Hey guys, Eric Allen, owner of Top Rated MMA. Hey, for this show, I was actually able to go down to Freezia in Post Falls, Idaho, and meet in person with Nick Masonholder and Killian Estes, who are both fighting on King of the Cage card tomorrow night, November 16th at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Be sure to pick up your tickets at Freezia. Thanks very much. Check it out. Eric Allen, Top Rated MMA. Got Nick Masonholder fighting at King of the Cage November 16th. Who are you fighting, man?
I'm fighting Daniel Gadley.
Okay.
I had fought him last year. Really close fight. Came down to a decision. Some people would argue that it maybe should have gone the other way.
Okay.
I ended up losing that decision, but regardless, we saw what we did wrong, and we're now improving it. And
yeah.
So I'm we're gonna do everything we can to make sure it doesn't even go the 3 rounds to risk losing the decision this time around. So
awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so you've fought him before. Do you train specifically for him now, or do you have a general training program?
We really just train to bring out the best in me.
Yeah.
I think especially at the amateur level and low pro level.
You training with who's the guy you're fighting right now?
Dan Gadley.
Dan Gadley. Oh, that's right. So you fought him last year. Do you train with him outside of the gym right now, or
do I train with him?
Yeah, have you trained with him at all before, or you guys no?
No. After our fight, I've definitely grown a lot in the last year when it comes to my temperament. But this time last year, my temperament was still pretty fierce.
Yeah, sure.
So there was a little bit of bad blood there.
Okay.
I definitely had some things to say about the specific way he got the win, which was
right.
It was one of those fights where he had top control for the majority of the fight. There wasn't a lot of submission attempts. There wasn't a lot of strikes thrown.
Right.
Which kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit.
Sure.
But now, I've got respect for him. He's a good athlete. He's a good fighter. He's a stud. He hung in there.
Nice. And the majority of your fights have ended in the first round.
Yeah.
Is that your game plan going into this as well?
No. We're just, we're chasing the finish as it comes, but we're not. Coach Johnny down at No Excuse MMA in Caldwell has completely reinvented my game. I was already a striker. I already considered myself a pretty good striker at the amateur level, and now I feel a world of difference. And I think people are going to see that come fight night. So if the finish comes in the first round, we'll take it. If not, I'm one of the only big guys I know that can do 2 hours of cardio circuit and still keep going.
That's awesome.
Whether we go decision, I prefer not to, but first, second, third, we're going to win every round like it's still a fight. So.
And are you fighting as an amateur or pro?
Amateur. Yeah, this is going to be one of my last amateur fights.
Okay.
That being said, if I do pull off the win and if we are successful, we'll gauge it from there. But
yeah.
I'm feeling like, man, I've been fighting since I was 16.
Sure.
Fight for almost 5 years.
Wow.
It's kind of getting to the point my body's feeling it already a little bit. I've been training for even longer than I've been fighting, so it's it's starting to add up. And at this point, I still can make some money through ticket sales and stuff as an amateur, but I'd rather have that guaranteed money as a pro. And if I'm going to keep doing potential damage to my body, then I may as well be having compensation for it.
Yep.
So
absolutely. So with my shows, I like to get a little bit more on the personal side. What was your deciding factor? What made you decide that you want to start training MMA and ultimately get in the cage there?
I get that question a lot, and I never quite know how to answer. It was a funny circumstance. I started as I was this little fat kid, and my mom. I was also kind of picked on and stuff, but I guess I wasn't that GSP story of I went to practice to learn self-defense, and I wasn't necessarily some other stories I've heard where it's I was overweight, so I went to practice to lose weight. Kind of somewhere in the middle. I just needed to have something I was good at. I needed to have an outlet at a young age, and so we started doing that. Fell in love with the sport, but every gym I went to in the area, they liked me from attitude. I was always a friendly kid, but anytime I talked about one day when I'm fighting like you guys, it was kind of brushed off a lot of the time. And then so I trained for a good couple years, kind of bounced from gym to gym because I felt like no gym really quite took me very serious. And I was a big kid, so it's like I was too big for the kids classes at any other gym, and then I was too small and weak for the adult classes at any other gym. And then when I was around 15, 16, I had met Parker Estes, Killian's dad.
Yeah.
And the dude took to me. He was the first ever coach to actually treat me like there was something there that could be developed, to be built. And he never treated me like, oh, he's doing it for exercise, or oh, he's, you know, he never treated me like I was a paycheck to keep the lights on at the gym. He treated me, hey, this is one of my fighters. Even before I ever had a fight, this is one of my fighters, you know. And then I was 16 years old, and I was still this little, you know, kind of doughy kid, but I was training, you know, fairly hard, and I had heard that there was a last second dropout on just a local MMA show over in Spokane. The opponent was 3-1, 6'5", and so I called Parker and left a bunch of voicemails, and because it was late at night when I heard. I just kind of wanted to put my foot in the door, just let him know, hey, I kind of want to compete down the line. I figured, you know, he'd say no, but it would be in his head, hey, Nick's wanting to compete, and so I call him up, and so I ended up sleeping in the next day, and I wake up to like 5 voicemails, just like, get the fuck out of bed, you know, you gotta fight in Spokane at 7 o'clock. So I go upstairs and tell my mom, I'm like, yo, because you know I'm 16, I need parental consent to fight, you know, and so I go upstairs and like, yo, Parker got me my first fight. She's stoked, which surprised me. She's really supportive. She goes, awesome. Is it in like 3 months, 4 months? And I go, close. It's, you know, tonight at 7 over in Spokane.
Come on.
And I was kind of, I mean, to be honest, you know, I was a 16-year-old kid. I was scared. I was never a very athletic kid growing up. I was nervous. I was kind of hoping my mom, who had, up until that point, had been super overprotective my whole life, was going to go, no, I don't know about that, you know, because that's a pretty valid excuse as a minor to say, you know, I can't get parental consent. I'm sorry. I kind of jumped the gun. But no, my mom looked at me and said, all right, you know, I guess you're going to go over and do that. So my dad took me over, dropped me off, signed the paperwork, and had my first fight that night.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then it was just, since then, man, it's just kind of been a blur. It's been fighting every 2-3 months, give or take. So I've always had really fast turnarounds. This will be my 15th MMA fight. I've got a bunch of amateur kickboxing matches, amateur shoot boxing, amateur boxing.
Wow.
So.
Okay. Awesome, man. Braver than I, dude. I've never been in the cage other than photos, so props to you, man, for sure. And then just the last question I wanted to just check in is, so what's been your favorite moment so far in MMA in your career, man?
Oh man, there's a couple, man, that are real. It's probably a toss-up, I think. There was my first win. It was something else. Felt phenomenal. I stepped up on 2 hours' notice. I didn't even have gear with me.
Wow.
We had so Killian stole a mouthpiece from the promoter.
That's awesome.
And we went and we boiled. It was at this little rec center in Usk, Washington.
Okay.
This tiny little tribal rec center, man.
Okay.
Promoter was calling out for opponents, and there wasn't one that showed up at heavyweight. And I kind of looked at Parker. Parker looked at me, gave me the nod, and I stood up. I said, "Hey, man, I'll do it."
Yeah.
You know, so Parker signed as my parent. Was like, "Hey, he can compete." Because we were out of cell service, I couldn't call my mom and dad and say, "Hey, is it cool?" And so I had to go grab like 4XL shorts from the Lost and Found of this rec center, man.
Wow.
They're falling down like off of me. So if this fight had gone any longer, they literally were falling off of me, man. And I go out. This crowd's silent because like I'm a baby-faced little doughy kid, man. Crowd's silent. And then 16 seconds in, I get in, turn in, you know, over towards the right, fire up this big head kick, and you just hear it on the video through the whole crowd, just whap.
Wow. And
just shin right to his chin. You know, got knocked out, and that was addicting. That knockout, I love that knockout. I'm definitely a headhunter. You know?
Yeah.
So
awesome.
So it's either tied up with that, or I'd say probably my first win with King of the Cage. That was a big deal. King of the Cage is the biggest show in the Coeur d'Alene area.
Yeah.
It's a huge show just on its own, but especially in this Coeur d'Alene area,
Sure.
It's all these legends have fought on. You know, Trevor Prangley put MMA on the map in this area on King of the Cage. You know, Will Nolan, Jordan Cook, Jordan Curry, guys I really look up to had fought on that show. And I had made my debut in it February of 2015, and I had lost pretty bad. And I thought I wasn't going to get the call back. And then they called me up on a day's notice that morning, and they're like, "Hey, we need somebody to come in and fill in. Are you down?" So whenever I ever said no, you know, let's do it, and I got a win in 13 seconds that time.
Awesome.
And fantastic, you know, highlight reel knockout. We counted the punches. I hit him 24 times in 13 seconds.
Come on.
You know, it was a blast, man. There's just nothing like it. It was a great win. It was right after a buddy of mine had passed away too, so that was a really powerful moment for me. And
that's awesome, man. That is awesome. So you said that this is one of your last amateur fights, and then kind of maybe toss and see where it goes from here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. We'll see. You know, it's kind of up to Coach Johnny. I'm pretty new with Team No Excuse. Trying to, you know, figure out the standing. I really, for the first time in my career, I'm really putting the ball in my coach's court. You know, he's picking my fights for me. All I'm having to worry about for the first time ever is just training. Training and fighting. Because I have a great manager in Sean Carr. He manages, you know, all my business aspect of things, my ticket sales, things like that I don't have to worry about. Coach Johnny worries about all my, you know, dealing with promoters, picking the fight, game plan, all that stuff. And, you know, so for the first time ever, I've just been able to focus on fight. I haven't had to call anybody out. I haven't had to, call up promoters. I haven't had to try to sell my own tickets. You know, like it's been great. And so I have a ton of respect and adoration for my family over at No Excuse, and specifically Coach Johnny. So whatever he wants to do. If he wants to, because like I said, this is my first fight under his tutelage. So if he wants to feel out how I compete and my mindset, because competing and in the gym is wildly different things. You know, and so this will be his first time cornering me for a fight.
Okay.
And so yeah, it's all gonna be up to him. If he wants to do a couple more amateur ones to buffer out some things, we'll do that. If he wants to make the jump to pro, man, there's a couple pros I wouldn't mind throwing out with. So,
cool.
Yeah,
awesome, man. Well, hey, that's all I got, dude. Thanks very much, man. I appreciate it. Sweet, dude. So how's everything going? Training camp's going good?
It's going good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Busting my butt.
Yeah, for sure. So I think I saw you're fighting some guy from Salt Lake.
Yeah.
For this?
Yeah.
What do you know about him?
I didn't really ask any questions. I just know that he took it to fight, I think, 2 weeks ago. So
nice. Okay.
Just I was like, all right.
Yeah.
It's like game on, you know.
Let's make it happen. For sure, man. And then, so how do you plan on finishing the fight?
I don't know anything about him.
Okay.
I haven't looked at any film, nothing like that. I've been working a lot of boxing.
Nice.
So
Okay.
I think I'm gonna stand for this fight as much as I can.
Yeah. Good.
Maybe next get a knockout.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try for that.
And then next month you're fighting for King of the Cage World Amateur title in
December
Reno.
9th.
How does that work? Is that like a one-night tournament or?
Yeah, I haven't really read into a bunch of it, but I'm pretty sure I'm only fighting one fight.
Okay.
And then all the winners are voted on, and whoever by the fans.
Yeah, yeah.
And then whoever the fans pick as their favorite fighter, you know, in the show, gets that top, you know, those top 4 scholarship, those top 4 contracts.
Okay. Okay.
Go pro. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Well, let me know once you guys get that link set up, and we'll throw it up on the website too.
Yeah, for sure.
Throw it for you. And then pro debut coming in February. Okay. Against Chris Schnell.
Shell.
Yeah. Okay. Seems like there's a little beef between you guys.
Oh yeah.
Can I ask how that started? We don't have to get too crazy into it.
Let's see. Originally, it's a couple years back. I think I was 17.
Okay.
He was talking a lot of crap, you know, just to everyone in general.
Yeah.
It's not even that good. I think he's like 10-12 or something. That's his record as an amateur. So
Wow.
I don't know. He was. And then Nick Masonholder.
Yeah.
One night he calls me. I'm sitting on the couch watching SpongeBob in my underwear.
Okay.
And it's 30 minutes before Conquest of the Cage out in Spokane that Rick Little throws.
Yeah.
And he says, hey, Chris Shell's guy backed out. I'm going to fight him. And I was like, yeah. So I get down there, and right when I get down there, they're like, dude, you're next. So they wrap up my hands, and I walk out there and beat him in 1:24 seconds the first round.
Okay. That's awesome.
Ever since then, he's, you know, my career's taken off. You know.
Yeah.
I'm 9-0 now, and
Sure.
I'm the top of the amateur division. You know, around here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he thinks he's gonna come up in his career through me. I think, and that's why he talks a lot of crap. So,
Yeah.
I told he wanted a rematch. I told him we can rematch as pro because beating your ass again on an amateur level does nothing for me. So,
Right. Sure.
I told him, you know, as pros, we can go at it because
Yeah.
I'll be getting paid to whoop his ass again. So,
Right. That's awesome.
yeah.
That'd be nice to get that another win taken care of there.
Yeah. Sure.
And then, so I mean, you've been fighting quite a bit. Did you had this fight here, and then you've got a fight next month in December. You'll have a couple months off in the pro. Did you end up fighting in Portland? A couple
No,
months
I
back?
didn't. We just had some complications with paperwork and stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay.
But yeah, that would have been a good fight. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
It didn't end up happening though.
Okay. Awesome. Well, man, I'm excited to see you get the win. I'll be out there doing live results. And then keep me updated on the Reno fight, and we'll get that promoted on the website for you too. So, that's it. Real, just quick questions, you know, that's all I wanted to do. So, I appreciate you taking time, man.